Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from I'm Oyman, and I'm terribly sorry if I'm mispronouncing that name. Now he is in the Moskva, the tier 10 Russian cruiser. He is on the map Sleeping Giant in a 4-point domination game mode. Well, it's obviously a tier 10 battle, but a pretty mild one. There is only a couple of tier 10s. There is no carrier, which is usually nice to see. And there are 3 destroyers per team. Now he decided to go over here and help with the A-cap. But unfortunately the friendly team does not have a destroyer inside. Now the A-cap is a bit weird because those islands are to a degree blocking fire inside the cap. So if you are a destroyer and you enter the A-cap, you're often on your own. Well, not entirely, because it's, well, I mean, radar ships can easily radar the whole A-cap. They just usually can shoot whatever's inside. So what they can do is provide vision for a destroyer. Like, you can have your own destroyer inside the A-cap, the destroyer can hide in smoke, and you can radar enemy destroyers to give your destroyer an advantage or things like that. But of course that requires team play, and team play is something that may or may not happen in World of Warships. Unless you bring your own division, it's not something you can necessarily expect. So I'm Oyman here. He is going for some long-range shots at a Musashi. I mean, he is in a cruiser, he doesn't want to get too close to battleships. The friendly destroyers show no interest in going towards the A-cap. His radar is useless because, well, I mean, he could have positioned himself closer towards the A-cap, but as I said, there is no point in radaring unless your destroyers go in, and it doesn't look like the friendly destroyers want to do that. Now the friendly team is also giving up the D-cap. I guess the enemy Des Moines just scared the friendly destroyers away. Now the D-cap is also a bit interesting because there are islands that can give your ships, well, your destroyers, almost perfect cover. So you can basically just sit in the D-cap and usually wait for the radar to go away. Unless the enemy team has spread themselves very wide and can somehow lob shells into your cover. But usually you'd expect to see a stalemate at the D-cap for quite a while, which unfortunately didn't happen. And the A-cap is often decided by, well, a destroyer fight, but again, the friendlies just didn't want to fight for it, I guess. Now the question comes, what is he going to do? Now we see a Des Moines here. He is currently not shooting, possibly because he's showing so much broadside towards the enemy fleet. Now he's getting detected, which means he might just fire anyway, but he's currently switching ammunition. Of course he wants to go for some nice juicy armor piercing. The Des Moines looks like he might turn and show more broadside. Well, I mean, he got 6 bounces, but now the Des Moines decided, you know what, my angle is way too good. I'd really want to eat a bit more damage. Okay, potentially the Des Moines is dodging torpedoes or such. But anyway, Oyman went back to high explosive for a round. Now he's back to armor piercing because it looks like that Des Moines just really wants to get punched. And you know, I mean, if an enemy is begging for it, really just a polite thing to citadel them. Who are we to judge what this Des Moines wants? Now, meanwhile, it's looking alright ship-wise, but capture-wise it's still rather horrible. And that's one of the things in a cruiser where you can feel well, I guess in any ship class you can feel kind of helpless, like if you're a destroyer and you can't just get close to the cap because of radar or a carrier. And if you're a battleship and you just don't get the support to actually push or something. But as a cruiser you are kind of more in a supporting role, and it's like the radar isn't helping the A-cap without anyone actually pushing inside. Now the Benson could have done that, you know? Benson is a good gunboat. I mean, he's only tier 8, but what is, well, can't fight is the Gearings, but it was the Harikaze, so the other tier 8 that was around. But I guess the Benson just doesn't want to risk, which, yeah. In the long run, like, the friendly team just needs to do something, and the longer they wait, the worse it gets.
Торпеды слева по борту. Торпеды по левому борту.
So, ship-wise, friendly team is one ship behind currently, but I mean, if somebody gets shots at this Charles, that would equalize the score once more. And meanwhile, the friendly team is actually grabbing the decap. Now, the enemy team has a huge lead by now, and that's going to be a problem. So just taking the decap will not suffice. The friendly team needs more caps, and they need them probably soon. Now what they could do is they could push aggressively inside the A-cap. The enemy destroyers seem to have left. They don't really have that much here on his flank stopping them. And I think Oimen is coming to the same conclusion, like they have to do something, and they have to do something soon. The decap, while the friendly team is contesting it, there is no guarantee that they're actually getting it, but I mean at least they're blocking the points game. Now, the A-cap seems sorta open. Let's speed it up here a tiny bit. And there is some radar going, so he is just checking out what's around to make sure that he isn't running into a destroyer that is going to ambush him or something. And you know, information is very important. Still doesn't have shots on anything, but now he's just going into the A-cap, and there we find the gearing. Now he could have kept his radar until he knew that he was going to need it. But and there goes the gearing. But having the information before going inside what's awaiting him and even being able to radar what's on the other side of this early on, it just made the push a lot safer for him. Now we got a broadside buffalo. That's juicy. Got a few citadels in there, maybe he can get more. Meanwhile, the friendly team has taken the decap. And I'm hoping they can get this buffalo soon. I mean, the buffalo is catching on, he is angling now. And Oimen has to concern himself with ships over there. Because there is a rather low part in the island where they could shoot him. And yeah, that Missouri over there might be in trouble. Now we have a Benson dueling a Musashi. Let's hope that the Benson can win this. Because it would be pretty bad if they have a Musashi coming from behind. Then again, there's still a friendly Musashi there to hopefully stop that if the Benson fails. But yeah, losing the Benson, and they lost the Benson. That's somewhat of a big deal, I suppose. Because the friendly team can really afford too many losses here. Meanwhile, Oimen is now engaging the Harekase. Radar is ready again, so he could potentially radar that guy. But the Harekase is going into cover, and he is turning away because he is expecting torpedoes. The Musashi gets taken care of before he can come around this corner, so that's good news. The Missouri went away, so he no longer has to fear about getting shot at by the Missouri. Like, this turn could have been rather problematic if the Missouri stayed, but you know, that Missouri is going for the decap, it looks like. Still looking rather horrible points-wise, but the friendly team will soon hopefully have the A-cap. And maybe a little bit more points, and there goes another friendly ship. Well, the friendly Cleveland here is also pretty low. They still have a Musashi that's, I think, probably about full health. You know what? Let's take a look. Yep, of course. So they really need that Musashi at the front lines. That Musashi should go full speed directly through A towards the battle the fastest way he can. They need his health, they need his tankiness. They need him out there. Now, Oimen is sailing around here in the A-cap mostly because I guess he is hoping that the Musashi will actually come and help. Come to think of it, when you look at the minimap, it looks like the Musashi isn't moving. Did he have a link dead or something? Connection problems? I'm not sure. Is he? No, I think he's moving again. It's like, I mean, you can't really take a Moskva out into... Well, I mean, there is the Des Moines that he has to worry about, and there is potential torpedoes. The Tarekase is probably the one capping B. Thankfully, the enemy battleships are all at the decap, so he may or might not be safe from them, depending on where exactly they are. So if he could go out here, maybe sink the Des Moines, then he could potentially raid at the B cap, but then again the Harakase might just be on the other side of this island. It's not looking good. And the Cleveland went down, but the Shimakaze just sunk someone. And look at that, broadside Des Moines, it's Citadel time. And there you go. Enemy team still has a huge point, and the enemy team once again holds 3 capsules. Now he could try to go for B, he could try to go for C. I mean, the Shimakaze is up there, so he probably wants to get closer to up there. What he really needs is a friendly Musashi, and I mean, he kind of waited in the A cap for help. It never arrived. So now it's just, he has to try it by himself, I guess. Now we found the Harakase, Raiders running, and I mean the Harakase is probably just going down here. And look at that, he's wearing cat camo. Such a cute ship. You should feel horrible for shooting such a cute ship. But I mean, Harakase is gone. Now he has a Missouri right in front of him. Now the Moskva is tanky for a cruiser. You probably don't want to be that close to Missouri. He could try to go for the ram. If he goes for the ram, he still leaves his team a little bit ahead. Or he can try to sail just broadside and go for choosy citadels. Now he's going for the armor piercing and he's trying to penetrate here the front, and it's somewhat working, but he still doesn't have the right angle he needs. You see, he's getting more bounces than pens, but he's slowly creeping closer. He's afraid that he will get penetrated himself if he isn't careful. Personally, I think I'd just have gone for the ram, but he wants more. He isn't satisfied with just ramming. He wants to devastate this Missouri, and you know what? It's working. Now, meanwhile, how far has this Musashi come? Well, he still hasn't left the A camp. And there comes a Des Moines and a Richelieu. Now, all the enemy team has to do at this point to win is probably nothing. I mean, they could potentially just run away. Instead, they are charging the Musashi, which is very good for the friendlies. Overall, not so good for Des Moines personally right now. I mean, he has a broadside Des Moines to shoot at. He has his heel running. He's trying to get away of it. I mean, he couldn't really turn without showing his broadside, so he decided to beach himself while he's still angled. But yeah, he's under the fire of a Des Moines and a Richelieu, and I mean, he got taken out by somebody from a clan called Pizza. I mean, there are worse things than getting sunk by Pizza. So, the enemy team has 876 points, so that's not looking good, but the Des Moines is almost down and the Musashi is finally leaving the A cap. It's also only 3 minutes left to play, but the friendly team won't win this by points. I mean, the Shimakaze could grab the D cap right now. I don't think that will do much. Then again, they should sink the Des Moines soonish. So, yeah, Des Moines goes down, and it's nice about it, he believes in the Musashi, and we shall all believe in the Musashi because it's in her hands. So the Shimakaze is using his guns. I mean, he doesn't want to get sunk, so he's staying inside of his smoke, and Probably can't get torpedoes in here in time anyway with the Richelieu going there. Torpedoes are probably on cooldown because of the first salvo. So, I mean, the Chimakaze could try rushing in, but most likely it's in the Musashi's hands here. And there we go. Now, the Musashi could ram and win, but the Musashi is a very slow and clumsy ship, and the Richelieu is, well, a lot more mobile. The Richelieu definitely doesn't want to ram. Now, also, if he had his guns pointed this way already and his guns reloaded, he could have absolutely devastated the Richelieu. The Richelieu could have absolutely devastated him. But I guess they kind of both failed their approach that way. And a very nice salvo into the Richelieu, but is that. Now there is 1 minute and like 35 seconds left. If the Richelieu survives, that Richelieu wins. The Richelieu will try to go around this island and seek cover from the Musashi. Now the Musashi is completely broadside, which means the Richelieu could absolutely get citadels here. But the Richelieu guns are in the front, and he probably doesn't want to turn. And there is the win! Here we are with the results. Oyman earned himself 2,905 base experience, certainly very nicely done by him. And I don't think I featured the Moskva before, so it was probably about time. Earned himself a Confederate and a high caliber, scoring 222,000 points of damage. He also scored 10 citadels this match, so yeah, pretty nicely done. Also, he managed to get 1.9 million potential damage, so he did quite a lot of tanking. Unfortunately, the battleships just didn't want to, I guess. So, nicely done by him, quite a close game. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you guys next time.